Hey, church. I wanted to discuss a passage of Scripture and kind of connect it with a personal testimony in my life. The passage of Scripture is Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. And it says, "Without faith it is impossible to please God, because everyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." And when you look at the context of the passage, it's Hebrews chapter 11, the Hall of Faith. And these people who are stepping out in faith are doing some pretty incredible, very risky things. They're risking for God. And I really believe that faith almost always involves some kind of risk or some kind of struggle or difficulty that you're going to have to trust God for. The same was true with us, my family, in 2006. We left our church in Missouri and our family behind, and we came to study at Dallas Theological Seminary. And, we had anticipated some struggles financially and otherwise, but we didn't think they would come as quickly as they did come. I think it was about a year and a half into our journey. We had run out of money and tuition was due, and I had run out of jobs. I was doing handyman and painting type jobs, and I was out of work. And I remember coming home on a Saturday evening and kind of seeing that look in my wife's eyes like, why did we take this step of faith? Why did we risk everything and come and do this? So we went to the back patio. I knelt by her as she sat in a lawn chair, and we prayed. And we really prayed for two things. We prayed for God to give me more work, and we prayed for tuition money. And that was a Saturday night. Sunday morning, I went to church. A guy came walking up to me, completely disconnected from, I guess, an understanding of our struggles. We had not told anyone about our struggles. And he said, "Hey, do you do painting? Could you come and paint my house?" And I said, "Sure." And I was rejoicing that God was answering prayer. And then I went and sat down in my seat. No sooner did I sit down, a lady came up and she said, "Hey, I've got a bathroom that needs some work. Can you do some work for me there?" And I said, "Sure can." And then Sunday ended, Monday began, and I was driving to work that day, and a friend of mine called me on the phone, and he had just graduated from DTS, and he was doing basically the same thing that I did to get through. And he said, "Paul," he said, "I've got 7 jobs lined up, and I can't take them because I'm going to be a pastor in Idaho." So he said, "Can you?" And I said, "Sure." So now I've got 9 jobs, and I get to work that day, and I'm rejoicing that God is answering prayer. And at lunchtime, my wife calls me, and she says, "I couldn't wait to call you. Um, DTS has just credited our tuition account for $1,000. Somebody has anonymously given us $1,000 for our tuition." So when I prayed, that was Saturday evening at about 5 o'clock. By Monday at noon, in answer to prayer for jobs and tuition money, I had 9 jobs now and $1,000 for tuition. Now you could look at that, and I know maybe some of you who are watching this are going to say, "That is an incredible coincidence." But I think most of you who are watching this are going to say, things like that have happened to me as well. You see, when you step out and you take that risk of faith, just like the people in Hebrews chapter 11, God is not going to forsake you. He's going to care for you. He's going to help you. He's going to bring a blessing to your life. You can trust that He is the God who will never leave you nor forsake you. I can tell you that by personal experience in my life. Even at times I can remember feeling so hopeless and this feeling that God was so distant. But in reality, even though there are times that God feels very far away, He is very close, He is very intimate, and He is very connected to your situation. You will never find the best version of yourself inside your comfort zone. You are going to have to get outside of that comfort zone. God bless you, and thank you again for joining us for this time of 5 Minutes with Pastor Paul.